Mhm. Good evening, my lovely and divine friends. So sweet to have you with us on a meditation evening. I wore my tropical shirt even though I'm not in Hawaii. I'm going to pretend like I'm in the South Pacific. I might have some coconut milk afterward to celebrate. How about that, Dorothy?
Sounds wonderful.
Sounds wonderful. As you all well know, our work is around the mystical marriage of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. The divine masculine is the focusing of attention. As we've talked often in our work together, the mind of thinking, when it is brought back into a place of silence, it becomes just an agent of focus. And as we have then learned to love the self first of all, and then love and recognize all that is as source, as God, as one, we realize that in that love that we're living in an ocean of possibilities. And those oceans of possibilities, they live within the heart. And why is that? Because when we have assembled the divine masculine and the divine feminine, we can be trusted with all the powers of heaven and earth. And so it opens a sacred doorway once again. And that doorway is within us. It's not something out there that we're looking for. We're not trying to find something anymore. We fully realize that because the doorway is open, that as we esoterically peer into the doorway through the heart, very important, we can illuminate the choices of our heart feeling creation. And so, once again, the mind isn't active, the mind is simply focusing light to the heart. And as the illumination of the feeling, the desire, the imagination, the feminine, as that is recognized, the focusing of the mind upon that image creates then an emanation of holographic energy from us. And it is created because the star tetrahedron, it's a prism. And it's a prism with all these facets that are turning so rapidly, and there are multiple star tetrahedrons, multiple facets. It's not just one facet. It's turning left and right and up and down and in and out. And so it becomes a very dynamic, if you will, creation of what we are feeling and imagining. It remembers it in so many prismatic ways. And so the Christ, if you will, Christ field, it is the memorization of what we're feeling. And of course, I really love that word when you say memory. You know, you're holding your lips together for a moment, you are memorizing. And this is what the star tetrahedron does. It memorizes in a very prismatic and a dynamic way what we're seeing and feeling, and then spins it out into holographic reality. The eoma then precipitates this very fine particles of existence around it, and creation happens. Loaves and fishes, all creation. And so this is why in the future, with the evolution of man, womankind moving into the new paradigm that is happening right now, there'll be no food shortages, there'll be no resource shortages, because we will be in creatorship. We can be trusted with all the powers of heaven and earth to create. And what we create will be coming from a deep feeling of such love that is not from wanting, it's not from needing, it's not from grasping. It is simply knowing that I am source now. I am the living water. And as it flows from me, it's simply my joy to give. That's my only desire, to give more of that which I am, the living water, in ways that would serve that which I am experiencing in life, because what I'm experiencing is but myself. It is all one ocean, all God's source energy. And so when I'm giving, 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 I'm truly giving to myself. And so this is where the adage originally came from. You see in the Bible, it is better to give than to receive. But in that sense, you see what you're giving when you are fully realized is that you're simply giving to yourself. So it becomes a very beautiful and exciting feeling of the dynamic living water of life that's flowing from us. Now, I wanted to read a little bit from just a short paragraph from the book Source Dialogues. I think it's a very poignant thought about what we're talking about tonight. The communion of mind and spirit is the creation of reality. What is needed is a consciousness that wills it. And so you are the will, the creator. How you will it, how you make it, is not only based upon what you wish, it is also based upon what is on your mind. Everything that you have on your mind is a constant wish, whether you want it or not. Now, that's a pretty poignant paragraph because it shows us, once again, as we were just talking, that when the mind is overactive and I'm trying to create my reality with my mind, with my thoughts, what do I think I should be doing? What do I think is expected of me? What do I think the world wants? What do I think would make me happy? We have scattered all of our thoughts, and so we create a chaotic, scattered reality, which is the chaos that we see in the world today. It's simply so engrossed with the mind of thinking. And because spirit, you see, is always creating, is always coming through us, whether we realize it or not. And so if we're in this chaotic mind of wanting, desiring, hoping to find relationship, looking for prosperity, wanting to have peace, wanting to have health, all these things you see are still the mind looking. And so it creates a scattered reality that reflects back to us. And so whatever is on the mind is also then part of our creation, which is why one of the most important parts of our meditation practice is training the mind to be silent. One of our students the other day sent me an email and she said, when I'm in my meditation, all the information coming through is so much. How do I sort through it? And I wrote back and I said, meditation is not a time for really receiving information. It's a time to hold the mind silent, settle into the heart, the feminine of feeling, rest within the sacred doorway of oneness, and allow the living waters that you are, that I am, that is Source God, to simply rise forth within you like a living spring. And as that is happening, it is super intelligence, it is super wisdom, it is superior. And in that superiorness, you don't need to examine it nor think about it. In its unfettered knowing and knowledge, it is simply flowing through the body, it is re architecting, it is dynamically changing everything within, around you. It is emanating as this living water from you, which is perfection and peace and love. And as it goes out, it's already pre-creating your reality. And I told her, if you'd like to sit for 5, maybe 10 minutes after your practice of meditation, and then sit quietly and ask your angels, ask your guides, ask your spirit, that's fine. But spirit, you see, is already flowing like a living spring from inside out if you are focused upon it. If you are not focused upon it, if the mind again is examining or looking or trying to find something in meditation or in your daily life, you are now scattering your thoughts, your ideas. And so then you create a scattered reality that you try and fix, you try and organize, you try and make something out here to fulfill you, and then it's chaos. And this is why we see the world in such a great chaotic state. It's part of the process of the world breaking down and humanity coming to the understanding that no matter how much they think and think they know, it really is a time of now moving into the heart. And most people don't really begin to move into the heart, into that place of silence, until there's some chaos that so disrupts their world, some dis-ease, be it physical, be it emotional, be it something as far as prosperity, financial. It just so disrupts one's life that one begins to go inside and ask why. And in that asking of why, you see, you're asking that which is the divine within you. Who am I? What am I? What is happening? And with that, then Source from inside out can begin to direct you. It can begin to give you information. Information that flows from you and begins to inform the world in a way that's full of harmony and grace and peace. So, with that, I've noticed that often many of folks who are in our group, they get so focused on the star tetrahedron, on really watching it and trying to somewhat even make it happen and examine it and be aware of it, that is taking some people away from actually just resting within the heart. So we're going to change our meditation today. And the way that we're going to change it, we're going to use the parts of the star tetrahedron, the upper triangulation of divine mind, which is the focusing of light. And where do we focus light? The brow chakra, which is the seat of the soul. The soul is all of your incarnations already honed into perfection. It is both future incarnations and past incarnations. It's the totality of your being. And so the perfection of knowing is here, the light of truth. And so when we then ignite the light of truth, third eye, masculine power, and we simply bring it down to the heart, the feminine of feeling, rather than today examining and looking and trying to feel the star tetrahedron, we're simply going to use the power of the focus of mind to rest within the heart and simply feel the living spring arising forth, just to sit quietly, very peacefully. And so, because so many people I've noticed the mind is so active in watching and feeling and trying to make the star tetrahedron, we're simply going to another level of using focusing of light, divine masculine, heart open, feeling the heart open like a beautiful lens upon a camera. And then arising forth is this quiet, dynamic, living spring. You will find as you then focus the mind more on that feeling, if you can imagine our physical sun, it shines to the front, to the back, to the sides, all around. It's this radiant, glowing ball of energy. And this is what happens when you truly open the doorway within the heart and you're focusing all of the mind attention here upon the heart. You're watching and feeling the living light flowing 360 degrees all around you. Your past is being illuminated, your future is being illuminated, your masculine to the right, your feminine to the left. All aspects are very simply being illuminated and then infused with the spirit of love and peace. And so your life becomes so much more quiet, so much more fulfilling because you're allowing the living spring to go forth and create your reality. Now, one of the things it talked about in the paragraph that I just read was that whatever is on your mind, whatever you're thinking about throughout the day, that is part of the mind of creation. And so, once again, that's why it's so important in your meditation to begin to train the mind to be silent so that your wishes come from the heart. You truly feel within the heart within you, what is the joy of my creation? What is the joy of my action? That's the key word, because love and joy is source. When you're using the mind to try and think and the mind to try and examine what should I be doing, that's the chaos. And then because it's now chaos coming from you, you're looking at the world and you're going, something's out of balance. Something doesn't feel right. I'm not liking this. This is something that bothers me over here. But those are all just reflections of your mind being overly active. If you truly come to this place of love, you will begin to see that everything out there that is happening, it's source, it's God, it's the living water. It might have upon the surface a reflection of ignorance, a reflection of something that looks chaotic, but beneath all of that, the waters of the living source of truth are there. And because you begin to recognize it here, you begin to recognize it there. You have great compassion for what's going on. You don't have any judgment or criticism. You simply become an observer, observing that life is unfolding, life is flowering. The living spring is arising forth, and individuals are then using it to find and feel within themselves, what am I? How can I begin to bring more love and light into my life? That's all that's happening. So when we go into our meditation today, I'm going to again take you into the place of simply feeling the living spring flowing from you, okay? So one of the things, of course, that we do to kind of set the tone for our meditation is our breath work. And it sets the feeling of allowing the doorway within the heart to be open. The breath is summoning, calling spirit from inside out. And as we're then breathing in, we're breathing in the living waters. I really enjoy that term, the living waters. I am the living spring. And as the living spring, the breath is coming out. We simply sit quietly, and as we exhale, we watch, we observe it flowing out, rippling, just like gentle ripples upon a spring day upon a pond. We come back to then bringing more of the living waters in and through. And so it's a very quiet, peaceful, deep recognition of I am source. God, I am. So let's go ahead and sitting quietly, spine erect. We always like to have the spine nice and erect. You could even imagine there's a string at the head that is gently pulling you up. And with a slow, deep in breath, we're actually calling source, the living waters, from out of the open doorway within the heart. So let's go ahead and do 5 minutes of deep source breathing. Feel yourself drawing the living waters from out of the open doorway within the heart. Feel the body relaxing and letting go with each breath as the water flows in and through. I am the living water. And another deep breath, the living water arising from the heart. I am the living water. Once again, it's the focusing of the mind, the light, and the feeling that creates reality. And as we are focusing the mind more and more, just holding attention on imagining and feeling this living water arising forth, it becomes a living fact. It becomes a reality. And so this is why Heshu was able to say, I am the living water. Truth. I am the living water, which is the open doorway for every one of us. It's simply then the choice of learning to hone, refine the mind, come to a place of deep and profound love, and then allowing and feeling source, the living water to flow from inside out. This is what the sun, the physical sun, is doing. The living waters of the sun come forth, and it's the fire of creation. Very simple. So I'm going to take us through the guided meditation. Once again, we're going to simplify tonight. We're simply going to go to the area between the brows and then bring the attention to the middle point of the head and ignite the light of attention. This is the upper triangulation of the star tetrahedron power, the power of focusing light. And then we will bring it down to the heart chakra with the sternum, which is love, which is self-love, which is love of all life. And then we will simply see and feel the open doorway and arising forth. We will simply sit quietly and observe and feel very dynamically that we're summoning and calling the living spring forth. And as it comes forth, it then becomes a golden, effervescent, sparkling, living light. It's a living spring that then flows from us. It flows out in the world. It feeds and nourishes all creation. It's much like the sap upon a tree. As the sap arises forth, it creates the bark, it creates the tree, it creates the leaves, it creates the flower, it creates the fruit. This is the living sap, the living water. So let's go ahead and sit quietly and close the eyes. And let's feel the body relaxing. We can be aware of the breath that summons from the open doorway the living waters of spirit. And then we slowly and gently bring our attention between the eyebrows. And as we would draw a line straight back, within the approximate center point of the head, we ignite imagination, we ignite the light of the soul, the light of perfection, all the soul in all of its glory, pure light. We focus the quiet and attentive light down to the heart chakra at the sternum. We acknowledge and see the open doorway, the doorway into the void of Source Spirit. And just by holding attention here, the living spring begins to flow. As more attention is held, the spring increases in quality and quantity, becoming ever more golden, sparkling, effervescent, and alive. It flows through every cell and tissue of your body, healing and renewing, flowing out into the world. I am the living waters. I will join and we will together create the abundance of the living spring for all life on the planet. So throughout the day, it's a very easy practice just to hold the mind at the heart and feel yourself as the living spring. You can do it walking, driving, at the office, wherever you're at, because we are all living within this great ocean of oneness. It's just that we forget about it because we're so busy with the mind thinking and examining and looking. And if we simply observe the living ocean and realize I am a spring that is eternally bubbling up and out of it and bringing more grace and clarity and purity to the ocean, we watch the world change effortlessly. It's not trying to change the world, it's not trying to make things different. It's simply knowing that as the living spring is arising forth, I am seeing and feeling it very dynamically coming from you. It's already going forth because it is prosperity. It is loving relationship. It is health. It is all great and gracious things. It's simply flowing from us. And so we observe the reflections of those things in the world rather than the chaos that we believe is out there, which is just an illusion upon the waters, just an illusion. Marvelous to be with you, my friends. Another absolutely fantastic, great meditation. Thank you. It's always such a pleasure to be with you. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Rain, shine, hail, earthquake, whatever. We'll be here. Blessings, my friends.